hear what you say.
Welcome to the Creator Slop League. It is good to have you here, and we have our first race here at Silverstone today. Now, I'm sorry, Skibbity Man 69, I won't be reading out your chat messages because I hate to break it to you, I am currently a pre-recorded message. I will be handing over to our very talented commentary team in just a second, but I wanted to say thank you all for coming and watching this stream. It's going to be great fun. We're about to head towards qualifying now. We've got a talented grid of drivers here today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Handing over to the commentators.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of our Creator Slop League here on F1 2024. We have a fantastic selection of F1's YouTube circle competing around this Silverstone circle, one of the fastest in F1, 5.891 kilometers, top speed of 280 miles an hour. It is absolutely fantastic track. First introduced to F1 in 1950, and it's been here for all 74 years of it. Going through, we have a selection of some of the best YouTubers on our platform. We have the likes of GD Charles, the host of Trackside Tales podcast and Simpulse, who reviews quite a lot of sim racing equipment, some of which people will be using today. Taran makes fantastic F1 memes. You should go and check out all these people in the description, as well as Sparks YT, who mainly sticks to the mobile racing, but is going to give the PC racing a go today. Daryl F1, one of our Irish competitors, so I'll be rooting for him myself, known for his F1 edits. And then we also have Minga, who is a fantastic streamer with millions of views across his videos as well. Formula Duck is an F1 YouTuber, comedian, and delusional Ferrari fan, self-admitted, and Canadian Flash, one of his Ferrari fan teammates as well alongside him too. The likes of Peter Brook, who is known for his F1 history and F1 iceberg, and Mr. V's Garage, the statistician himself, is in our lobby too. F1 Unchained is an informative F1 content YouTuber. He makes some fantastic videos. And Law VS, who seems to be up a ladder most of the time, but we're not going to blame her for that. The likes of Dime, who has joined us recently, is a very talented creator, known for making his brilliant F1 tracks, and FP1 Wild here, who is very much known for the comedy review, and he really hates Boeing. Josh Revel, who we're hoping will join us very soon, he's one of the most innovative creators here on our grid. And then of course we've Dan. Joining myself today, I have Casper Martafiki alongside me to bring us through the qualifying, which is a single session over 18 minutes to decide who gets pole, and we'll go into a 50% race for 26 laps of flat out racing. Casper, how are we keeping today?
Keeping very well. If anybody's ever watched sim racing around Silverstone, you'll know it's an absolute banger of a racetrack. Plenty of overtaken opportunities, and I mean, just the racetrack in itself it's just awesome to race around. And it's also got all loads of history, so all the generic reasons. But it's going to be a cracking race, and for a first event, I don't think we could have picked a much better venue.
No, not at all. Going to the previous years, every year seems to be an absolute banger. And luckily, we can chat with our fellow creators with Not Applicable F1 here, who will be going through all the F1 reviews, or F1 YouTubers, and interviewing them. James, Not Applicable, how are we keeping today?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. I mean, as the vice chairman of Winter Slop, felt like I needed to be involved in the racing. Didn't quite come out on top last time. I feel much more at home in the commentary box for this time around.
I think going by last time, you definitely gave a good go with Dan, but you seem a bit scared to race him again, so we'll allow you to sit in here for the commentary bit. Not Applicable will be our Ted Kravitz on the ground, the pit lane reporter. We'll see interviews from the likes of the Canadian Flash, Minga, Peter Brook, FP1 Will, all the rest. They'll get their fair share of spotlight through this race going through. And of course, in the background, we have Captain Foxy, a brilliant commentator from last time, is now helping with the production side of things. So thanks very much to him. Guys, what do we kind of expect? We've varying levels of experience in the F1 game. Some people have posted their lap times and all the rest. Some people have gone through and posted what the lap times are doing. Casper, is there any indication as to who might be on pole as we start the qualifying session?
There's a couple of people that have, like you've said, they have posted their lap times, and they all sort of, again, at least from what I've seen, they're all sort of within about a second or so, I think. from the couple that have posted, but of course not everybody. So from the 14 drivers that we've got today, I'm not making any bets or anything like that until qualifying is done, because obviously that's going to be a good sign. Taron across the line, 29.1 as the first lap in qualifying.
And we know Taron's been putting a bit of practice in. Just for everyone here, we have a fair amount of people who are streaming at the moment, so pretty much like our Sky Q, if you want to press your red button, you can go into the description and have a quick look. The likes of Mr. V, FP1 Will, Minga, Simpos, Taron, Foreman the Duck, and Daryl F1 are all streaming their own point of view, so go and show them some love. And of course, everybody else is in the description when it comes to all the creators that we have here. Fantastic lineup. It's incredible what we've kind of been able to do this time, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And also on that, you don't have to be a Sky Q or Sky Glass customer to access all of those points of view. You can just click on the stream in the description, and then Bob's your uncle run through there. Looking on with Mr. V, of course, everybody has got their own liveries as well. There's no McLaren, there's no Williams, there's no Aston Martin or anything like that. Everybody's in their own car, as Daryl puts in a 27.7 as his fastest time. That's a great run.
We should also point out for the moment that Mr. V, unfortunately, there's a bit of a story behind it. I don't know if anybody's watched this live stream so far, but definitely do go check it out. He ordered a wheel about a week ago. He was expecting to have it for this weekend, and now he's on controller. So let's give him a little bit of time to speed up. But Daryl F1, that's a solid banker time.
That's a solid banker time. Yeah, being a controller racer on very, very few occasions, granted, I've only done 3 sim races. Only one of which I have finished. But anyway, it's tough. And you can't. It's difficult to, compare to your drivers on wheel, because obviously they've got a little bit more control over what way they're going. It's a bit easier generally on wheel rather than on controller. But I'm sure he can make it work, as Dime slows to the lot. 39.6, I think that is. As the back of, more than likely a slow lap. If that is his genuine pace, I'd be heavily worried.
Yeah, don't mince your words, whatever you do, Casper. Not at all, not at all. Going through, we'll see Foreman a Duck try and cross the line. He's going to go up into 5th with 29.5. That's actually not bad. The field's actually fairly closer up the top, maybe compared to what we had last time. Again, we only had 2 people last time. A decent 14 grid. It looks like we might not be having Josh Rebel this time, which is a bit unfortunate. But, however, we still have a very stacked grid, so there'll be battles up and down as Dan comes into the pits. Dan, my God.
He's in 6th.
I'm surprised. He did a fair bit of practice, but I know there's a bit more in it. He's been coached through most of it, so I don't know if we'll see any better from him. That is a lovely livery on Sparks YT.
Oh, that is gorgeous. That is genuinely gorgeous. I do quite like the colour fade on that. I'm trying to think what the right word is. I think it's like the ombre, I think, is the technical word for that.
I wouldn't know. English is hardly my first language now.
It's not mine either.
FP1 well now, 37.6 he's got down to. We'll see when he comes out through the final corner. He's going to put his foot down. Is he on a lap at the moment? Comes across the line. He's only recharging the battery. He only stuck in at 31.7. So we'll see as everybody comes across the line. That's kind of the first run that's done at the moment. And we'll see Ming Gaiman going through the first corner. He's on a fast lap. Wow, he gets close. And I believe we can kind of head down to not applicable F1 now if he has anybody or any kind of anything to really interject with. James, have you got anything for us so far? They completed their first runs. What's kind of going on here?
I'm heading down into the pit lane. I'm going to try and get hold of Daryl, obviously, our provisional pole sitter, but still a couple of guys left to come around. I don't want to hand him the trophy already, but it was a very quick lap from him, considering the field that he's got behind him. Although, I'm kind of wary. Starting on pole position, especially at Silverstone, I think he could be a sitting duck going down and towards turn 1, so it depends whether he plays the little tactical game. Maybe don't start on pole position.
Yeah, of course, because turn 3 it's a place for dive bombs, and then of course if you keep the lead there, you go down to Brooklands, and again, same thing over. You can get slipstreamed around the outside, around the inside. There's so much variation, and again down to Cop. There's so much opportunity for racing down here, even after Cops. Everywhere, the whole track, you can set yourself up for any kind of move, especially with the DRS here. It's extremely powerful as well. which is fantastic. Have you got anyone for us yet, though, James?
I'm trying to get hold of Daryl. Can I get him? Can I get him? He's a slippery one.
He's a slippery
I think
one.
I've got him. We might have him.
Have we?
Daryl, are you there? We want to check in with you in the pit lane. Provisional pole. How's it going?
Yo, that's going well, thanks.
And of course, you're
How
a fellow Irishman.
How are you feeling though? So provisional poll at the moment, 9 minutes left to go. Can you give us any tactical insight? Are you gonna go for another couple of laps, or are you feeling out and waiting for somebody else to maybe get at least within 0.5 of a second of you?
I'm just gonna go out now and feel how the track is, and then the final lap I'm just gonna push and see how far I can get the field.
I love it. It's that Max Verstappen mentality almost, isn't it? He's going to go out. He doesn't want to see what everyone else is doing. He's willing to go out and just battle all by himself. If anything, he's just trying to prove that he's better than everybody else.
Yeah, awful fighting talk there. I know, as an Irishman myself, we love a bit of fighting talk, but that is, yeah, feeling the track. He's already half a second ahead, and he's hoping to gap the field. He's definitely put in a bit of practice. But yeah, a bit of fighting talk from Daryl anyways. Definitely have someone who's up for a fight. Right, let's take a look at kind of what we're going through. So everybody's kind of in the pits at the moment, just kind of feeling around, really. Nobody's really willing to go out. There's a few outlappers. Daryl's back on track, ready for another bit of time. Canadian Flash as well. Dan is out for another lap as well. Sitting in 6th. All right. And Canadian Flash just letting by someone else. He's hoping to get a bit of clear tracks. We'll have to see how that goes for him. But we do have a nice bit of fighting going on when it comes to track position. Not too much time left, of course. So it's going to be interesting now. 7 minutes 20 remaining on the clocks. Canadian Flash. Oh, and a massive snap. Out of turn 3, he's going to fly down. Casper, why don't you take us through this?
Well, I can easily take you through that. Right, Canadian Flash through the Wellington Straight down towards Brooklands. Careful on entry because you've got that second apex. That's what you want to hit. Not the first part, but the second bit. That'll get you the best line now through Luffield. Big, long right-hander. Sort of doesn't feel like it's really going to end. And then through Woodcut. If you follow MotoGP, you'll know 2019 was a big race through there. Into Cops. Still flat. Probably about 7th gear, 170 miles an hour coming into here. And then possibly the best section on this circuit is into Maggots Beckett's. And then through Chapel. Important to get the exit right here just before Chapel, because you've then got the hang straight. You're going upwards of 200 miles an hour down here. We saw, what, 208, I think, was the top speed we were looking at into Stowe. That's probably where you're going to see a lot of moves into Stowe Corner as well. Downhill slightly into the Vale Chicane. Left and right. Be careful for a sneaky move up the inside on the race into there. Through Club. Final corner, 130.030 puts him in 8th place on the 4th row.
Smack bang in the middle. Not a bad place to be, right behind Dan as well. We can see Taron coming across. We know he's a bit of pace to find. And he comes across. He improves the time small bit, but not enough to move up position. Only 2/10 behind F1 Chained. Dan is on a lap as well. We'll see how he kind of comes out to at the moment. Speaking of him, there he is at the moment. Flying through Maggots and Beckett's. Trying to carry maybe 6th gear through this corner. Flat out through here, and he's going to activate the DRS as well. So we'll see what comes up with the lap time for him. And we can also see what the grid is still looking like. Still Daryl F1 on top anyways, but hopefully Dan, with a bit of practice, might be able to find a bit.
Here we go. Right, into Vale. This, I don't know, could be interesting. Could be quite a good time. See what he does through Club to the line. 28.8 puts himself into 4th place, top 4.
Finds 9/10 of a second. He's still about 1.1 off pole, but you know what? For Dan, it's not too bad at all. Not too bad. So Daryl F1 didn't improve either. He's back in the pits. Sparks up to 2nd still, and F1 Unchained. There is your top 3 at the moment. So we're getting down yellow flag in sector 2. Hopefully no one's ended themselves into the barrier. 4 minutes and 40 remaining. So people are going to probably run back to the pits, just like Canadian Flash racing here. And they're going to stick on maybe a new set of tyres at the moment. Nobody's on an outlap at the moment. Dime seems to be on the lap side, trying to find a bit of time. He's more used to designing these tracks rather than racing them. But hey, he's going to give it a go anyways. Through through into the final corner, out through club. What can he do? Flat to the pedal, and he's going to set in a respectable time of 1:30.7.
It's
Just-
1.5 seconds up on what he had. Here's Will as well, the man known for the comedy review. Can he get a funny time up here? He goes to 11th place. That's not too bad, actually.
That's actually not too bad from Will, 1:30.4. Oh, and he seems to have just decided that that's enough driving for him.
Had off to Abby.
Mr. V is still actually quite close as well. He's only a few tenths away from getting a couple of positions, which isn't too bad for a man who hasn't raced in controller in years. There's Dan returning back to the pits now. So, Daryl, F1 Unchained, Minga Gaiman, and Peter Brook are now all out in out laps, hoping to set a final respectable lap time. Maybe move up the grid. F1 Unchained, he's looking quite good. Maybe a bit of time to find, but he can definitely catch Sparks YT ahead.
I mean, he's got a second to make to Daryl. You probably could easily make it. You could easily lose a couple of tenths through sections like you've got coming into Maggie's Beckett and all that sort of stuff. So there's plenty of spaces where you can make up some time. So keep an eye.
Absolutely. We do have a bit of competition anyways, but Daryl F1 seems to be walking away with it at the moment. But I believe we might have someone to join us, maybe to give us a bit of insight. James, have you got someone there?
I've got the man himself, the man who's putting on the entire show, Dan. Coming into you. You've just come into the pits, 4th fastest at the moment, just outside of the podium places. And I don't want to put any pressure on you, but the comments are saying that they will unfollow you if you don't get a podium place. Does that help or does that hinder?
That definitely hinders because I know how fast some of the people in this lobby are, and I was not on for a podium today, but please don't unfollow, guys. Please hit subscribe button. Please like. Please give lots of money to me. I need it. Otherwise, I die of thirst.
There you go. We heard from the man himself. A little bit of pressure on Dan, but as he says, he's been the one to put this all together. Maybe we should give him a little bit of slack and not expect him to be right up there with some of the best racers that we've got in the community.
I disagree, but thank you, James, for that interview there. As we're watching F1 Unchained, he was 6 tenths up in the middle sector. Can he find a bit more? That only puts him about 4 tenths away from Daryl at the moment. Sparks YT on an outlap, he'll have to try and beat him. Can F1 Unchained hold it through the final corners, out through club? He's going to be flat out, deploy the ERS, he's starting the charge, he's used it all. And he goes second with a 28.2, just about edging out Sparks YT. Daryl is on a lap as well. Can Daryl beat his pole time? He said it so early. Surely there's more time in there to find. But we're going to have to see at the moment. Foreman Duck is on a lap as well. DRS wide open. He's going to hope to improve a bit of a gap up to Taran, but hopefully he'll be able to close it up there. So we'll kind of see where the times lay out. FP1 Will on a lap as well. Everybody's on a lap, but it looks like Will may have a bit of wing damage, actually. It looks in the front left. He might have had a moment there.
Looks it. Yeah, that's probably it for his qualifying then. I don't imagine that you're going to be able to put a time together without a wing. Yeah, he's coming in. So best he's got is 11th. Taran on a lap coming through the loop. Aintree corner down the Wellington straight. Yells in the 3rd sector. That looks to be for traffic. As a lot of cars are sort of clubbing themselves up as such through Vale and Club, rather ironically. Minga to 8th place. He's just started a lap, I think.
Everybody seems to be on a lap at the moment. We're waiting for the first cars to cross the line at the moment. Your order is still Daryl, Unchained, Sparks YT. F1 Unchained managed to bump it up. Someone's gone a bit wide just there. Foreman Ducks coming out of the final corner for the end of this qualifying session. Can he boost himself up a few places? Ooh. He goes second, less than 2 tenths behind Daryl F1. Can Daryl improve his pole time? He's under threat. He's under threat at the moment. F1 Unchained seems to be finished his qualifying after that superb lap to put him 3rd at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 1. That's only for Foreman Duck slowing down. We'll have to see. Canadian Flash, is he going for another lap? No, he seems to just slow down. He's getting out of the way.
Checkers are out.
And we see Mr. V, the controller master. He's gone off the track. He's gone off the track again. He's a bit sideways. Can he recover it? Does the time count as well? He's only going to be 13th, unfortunately, at the moment. So, that was a bit dramatic now at the final corner from Mr. V. Taran crossed the line, finishes 5th. Dan is in 6th. FB1 Will, as we saw him there, he got damage on his front wing. They're racing across the line there. Law VS in P10. He didn't manage to improve his time. Mr. V as well. sticks in that 13th place at the moment. Formula Duck, is he going for another lap, I wonder?
I don't imagine so. He's coming through Cops now. Daryl to the line. He's up through 2 sectors. What's he doing through the third? He goes to a 27.5, puts himself firmly on pole position. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to beat Aminga to 7th place. So puts himself in that top half of the grid. Dime isn't running, and Formula Duck has finished his push lap. So that is it for qualifying. You're going to put Daryl and Formula Duck on the front row here.
Wow. Yeah, Daryl really kind of showed everyone at the moment. Dime unfortunately had to abandon his lap there, but wow, that was a good showing from Daryl. Daryl 4 tenths ahead of Formula Duck, and then behind is F1 Unchained, only 3 tenths behind Formula Duck, and then Sparks YT so close to P3, only 700ths behind. But wow, what a qualifying session!
That was a cracking qualifying session, yeah. A lot of fighting. Formula Duck going from 8th to 2nd, that was a little bit of a surprise. Credit to him. But yeah, great stuff. And, you know, the field is relatively close. So, you know, could be a cracker on our hands here.
It could definitely. Daryl F1, of course, known he's actually risen quite far in the last year or so, up 10,000 subscribers. Maybe this could help him now if he's going for a racing career at the moment. So that's very good from him, very good at the moment. But yeah, wow, Formula Duck kind of popped in a lap there. Speaking of, I think James is someone for us to talk to.
I have indeed.
Hello?
I've tried to grab the man of the moment himself, Duck. What an incredible final lap, jumping from middle of the pack all the way up to 2nd on the grid. You must be very, very happy with that one.
Very, very happy. I have no idea how I did it, but I'm not complaining. You know, I'll
What's
just
your-
try and
what's your
translate that to
strategy
the
then?
race.
2nd on the grid, but you know the guy in front of you, Daryl, put in that provisional pole time early. Can you give us an inkling? What are you kind of thinking going into turn 1, turn 3 during the race?
Not to compromise myself, because like I know he's probably like gonna win by like 20 seconds, so I'll just try and stay 2nd and do my best. But if he crashes, then you know, obviously I'm gonna go straight for number 1. Try not to do a Ferrari moment.
Hope for a DNF. Absolutely. Love that. Thank you so much, man. Very, very impressive from Formula Duck. Hopefully, I think he's underplayed that a little bit. He's trying to get in the mind of Daryl. And I think he's going to go for it.
It could definitely be very interesting when it comes to this, because obviously race pace is a lot different from just qualifying pace. So we have to see, can Daryl keep that up to the whole race? Will the DRS play a factor? Like even though it looked like a bit of a gap, it is a very fast circuit. One small mistake can really kill any kind of momentum that you have. But thank you very much for that, James. That was good to hear from the man of the moment, as you put him. The delusional Ferrari fan, self-proclaimed. But yeah, wow, that was yeah, it really depends on who gets the best start, who can warm the tires correctly in the formation lap, and who can really get the ballsy move into turn 3. The likes of Mr. V, FB1 will Dime down the back of the grid. They'll be hoping to make a bit of ground on the first lap, but during the formation lap, we'll see how they go now as they set off.
One thing that you specifically said is, or somebody said, was specifically about race pace and whether DRS is going to play an effect. I can already say the answer to that is yes. DRS plays a big effect around here at Silverstone. There's plenty of drivers disqualifying from the formation lap. CF Racing, FP1 Will, and Mr. V are all out due to contact, due to other things. That just means that their tyres are going to be cold, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them at the start. But anyway, DRS, massive player here at Silverstone.
And of course, it gets activated on lap 2, so we can see racing as early as pretty much mad overtakes as soon as lap 2. It could be a 26-lap sprint, if anything. But a lot of people getting disqualified from the formation lap at the moment. I don't think anybody really got the memo, but they're only hampering themselves with the tire temperature at the moment.
Yeah,
so it's going to be an interesting start up here.
It's going to be a very interesting start, of course. If you disqualify, your brakes cold, your tyres going to be cold, and on the run through Abbey Farm into Village, if your tyres are cold, that's just going to cause you more problems than anybody else. So, that mid-pack, just purely on tyres, is going to be quite interesting, as we're on board with Dan. Possible race tyre strategies, it's soft to medium, soft to hard, is what we're looking at. Still a one-stop. 50% races are generally a one stop unless safety car comes into play, which it very well could do.
And red flags are possible as well.
I don't know if they are.
Oh, well, that might be a mistake on my part. Anyways, we'll continue on. So the main thing you really have to have a look at here with the likes of Cops, Stowe, and Turn 1 as well, you have to be really careful with the left side tyres. They can overheat, they can wear a lot quicker. As seen here, we can see the tyres, top three all starting on the soft to get away as quick as possible. Sparks and Taron starting on the mediums, hoping to go long, and so is Ming again. But Simples on the hards.
Could be trying to run long. I'm not surprised that he's starting like that from the back, but we'll see. We'll see. As everybody's lining themselves up now, everyone in chain's got a pretty good starting position there as the lights are coming on now.
Absolutely. So we're going to get this Creator Slop racing underway. DRS disabled for the first lap, of course. We've got 5 lights on, and there's been a jump start for Formula Duck, and he's going to get a drive-through penalty for that, surely. Daryl F1 sets away. On pole, he holds the lead. F1, Formula Duck coming up behind. Is he going to go for the move to turn 3? He's showing us no, as Daryl depends perfectly. Someone hasn't got going at the moment. F1 Unchained seems to have an issue at the moment, but never mind that. Sparks YT tucked up behind Formula Duck. Then Dan up to 4th. What a rocket start from him. He's in 4th at the moment. Mr. V making up loads of positions. 4 positions he's made on the first lap, and now he's behind Peter Brook.
There's plenty more position changes coming through into Brooklands. We go down the inside. Goes Dan on Sparks. Makes that move very nicely into Luffield, though. Is Sparks going to fight back? He's going to try and give it a go. Round he goes! Round they go again!
He's taking someone else with him. That is absolutely... and he's collected someone else, and Dan is out on lap 1.
I think that was Will that he took with him. I'm not 100% sure, but that looked like Will. As we're on virtual safety car conditions, I think it's just going to be a virtual one because the safety car icon isn't on the map. But what a start. I should also add a clarification. I don't think Formula Duck is going to get a jump start penalty for that. Otherwise, you would have seen it at the top of your screen. So I think that's, however good that start was, it was legal.
Yeah, it seemed like you just got away a lot quicker. Virtual safety car deployed, so there might be some people with damage maybe trying to fix that. Simple's already up to 11th on the hards. Keep an eye on him, because he could be a shoo-in for the win if he makes that strategy work out. Everybody just gonna take it calm for the moment. We've a bit of a gap down behind Charles, and also down to Peter Brook, but they're on the soft, so might catch the medium runners. But I believe James is with one of our victims as we get underway racing again.
Yeah, I had to get him back in. I know that we've only just talked to you, Dan, but it's gone from semi-reasonable to absolutely not happening. What happened there? Talk us through it.
I don't actually know. I've not seen the replay. I'm holding back a lot of very bad words right now. What happened there? Like, I swear I left the space and I just got hit and spun, and then I'd hold my brakes and just, like, died.
It was quite it was sort of Bottas hungry vibes. You sort of got collected and then collected again and then collected again.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but Diamond's going for a move on Will FP1. They're after banging and hitting each other at a turn 3. Will trying to move over, trying to go over the space, but Diamond has it locked down as he goes past. And virtual safety car again. Sorry to cut over you, James and Dan, but yeah, it seems everything's kind of kicking off on the first 2 laps. Full safety car now deployed.
Full safety car, something to do, I think, with F1 Unchained, because you might have seen during that interview he was going really slow, and I think he looks like he's just retired on track. So he's going to be a full safety car. Everybody is going to sort of close back up again, and also just as that interview started, well, Taron picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. He's going to have to serve that soon.
Looks like Mr. V got a piece of the action as well. He dropped 20 seconds behind Will, so he might have had to pit and maybe repair some damage. Drive through there for Taron. Is he going to try and take it at the moment? I don't think he can under safety car conditions, but he's going to try and change tyres. Maybe he has a bit of damage. Simple's also with a 10-second penalty for ignoring double yellow flags. So yeah, everything's kind of kicking off in the first 2 laps. We've our first safety car. We've had a virtual safety car. What's going to happen now?
I'm not sure, but we could very easily see hards ran to the end here. That's why we've seen a lot of the guys from softs pitting. Soft then hard now to the end of the race is a possibility. But with the amount of safety cars, we could see them pit for mediums a little bit later on. But we'll see. We'll see.
It definitely makes a one-stop a lot easier for those people who are like Mr. V on controller or anything like that, just trying to keep the tyres in working order. But at the moment, we still have Daryl ahead of Duck. Charles has snuck his way into P3 and Sparks has dropped behind him there. They are not changing tyre. Peter Brook has gone on to the intermediates. Okay.
Oh.
James, you wouldn't mind trying to find out from Peter himself if that was intentional or not. It's a bit odd. Maybe he's predicting rain.
I don't know if we're going to be seeing rain, but one thing that I know is sometimes it is a bit of a game mess up. As actually, we'll cut to James now because I think he has got Peter Brook.
I have managed to grab Peter. I don't want to interrupt him for too long though. Under these virtual safety car conditions, we just want some insight. What's the thought process going on to the intermediate tyres?
The thought process was that I didn't know that it was going to say, "Oh, turn right to get into the pit box," and I did that and pressed right on the analog stick, and it changed the tyres at the last second. So, well, I'm only P10, so I'll come out P12, and yeah.
Hey, you never know. I think we do have the race settings on no weather changes, but if somebody's made a mistake, you could look like an absolute genius.
But yeah, let's try pitting again.
I think this throws it back to Malaysia 2009 when they stuck Kenny Raikkonen on the wet tyres, yeah. So, look, maybe not the best strategic decision, but thank God we have James to try and bring us through the thought process behind. That's unfortunate now, isn't it? Accidental misclick.
Something that I do want to mention, Charles, who started at the back for a brief moment, was up to third. And I know it sort of worked out on pit lane and strategy, but just seeing that jump, if he can manage to keep up there, that'd be if he can get back up there, that'd be great. As we cut to James again, see what he's got.
I've grabbed Charles, although I think he's now leaving the pits. We just wanted to get your thoughts, Charles. Obviously, up into third there, you've come into the pits again. What's the thought process?
Well, I've just got a couple penalties. I don't know if they've been served during the pit stop, but it's a crazy race. All I needed to do is keep clean, and I was up to third.
Fair enough.
Just a nod of the head from James. He seems to approve of your message there. Anyway, yeah.
I like it. He's planning on another safety car and probably another one too, which, by the looks of things, probably a good shout.
Yeah, he still has that 10-second penalty hanging over him, so a lot of people have definitely taken the opportunity to go for the hards at the moment, hoping to stretch it to the end, but I don't know, Casper, you're more experienced in this game than me. Will the hards last to the end?
They could. It'll be difficult, but they very well could. On the penalty question that Charles put, on the cinematic safety car. So we're going to get to going shortly. Charles will be able to serve that 10-second penalty the next time he comes into the pits. If anybody who has a 3-second time penalty or any amount of 3-second time penalties for track limits, those will by default be tacked on at the end of the race. You can't serve those during the race. We've got a little bit of a problem with the game. We shouldn't be having cinematic safety car, and yet here we are. Exit of Chapel now.
Yeah, seems like another EA moment for us to ponder over. Daryl's still leading anyways. He seems to have stayed in the soft. The top three haven't have pit yet, which is a bit different. Safety car is in this lap anyways, so Formula Duck is in second. For some reason, it's showing him up in first on our screen for whatever reason, but nevertheless, Daryl...
10-second penalty for a collision with Taron.
Safety car collision. Daryl leads him to the green flag. We'll get info on that after. Daryl's going to hold it right to the end, and he's gone. He's taken the late apex. Trying to drop Formula Duck out of the DRS. Sparks still follows behind, and then Simpos up to fourth, who started on the hard tyres with that 10-second penalty, is going to try and nip behind them as well. Bit of battles going on behind. Law VS up to sixth now, trying to defend from Taron. Taron, who has that 10-second time penalty. Is Taron going to send it down the inside? Yes, he is. Is he going to lock up? No, he's not. He's going to maybe small bit of contact with Law VS as here it goes. Ming straight into Law VS. Oh, that's unfortunate, but Taron gets one position up there, but Law VS after losing two after that contact with Minga.
That was very much sort of akin to the problem with Dan that we saw at Luffield on lap 1 as Mega is still trying to make a move around the outside of Brooklyn, a little bit too far for that to happen. Yes, it says safety car at the top of your screen. That will clear once we have a yellow flag pop up. So do not fear if this is the first time you're watching F1 24 Racing. It is an F1 problem as Mr. V is side by side with CF Racing, and he does get ahead of the Canadian, so he's up to Nightbot, goes off through Cops, is side by side once again. Can the Canadian make it back past into Maggots and Beckett, or he's still two abreast? And he does manage to make it.
What a move from Canadian Flash. Ultimate move through Maggots and Beckett. So you don't see many passes there. Mr. V is now under attack from FP1 Will. He's losing a lot of ground at the moment. Wow, Canadian Flash, what a move from him. Can Will storm around the outside of Mr. V? Yes, he can. Can he hold the position on exit? Of course he can. What a move going through there. Mr. V is down 2 positions in half a lap, and Taron has to duck into the pits.
Cracking moves that we've seen already on this safety car restart. Both through the loop, through Cops, into Maggots, Beckett as well. Stowe, a bit of a late dive as well as into Abbey. No chance for a move there for... That is Peter Brook on FP1 Will. I believe that they come into Village Corner turn 3 around this magnificent circuit. No chance, but Brooklands is an opportunity, so keep an eye out for that one. We'll see what happens.
We can see Peter Brook right in the gearbox now of FP1 Will. DRS enabled now. Will too far behind of Canadian Flash to get the DRS. Is he going to send it? Peter Brook looks to the inside, gets the apex first, a bit of contact on the outside, and he makes his way through. A bit of braille driving there. Mr. V looking to capitalise should anything go wrong at the moment, and Will has to do the work all over again as Peter Brook starts to gap him.
Could be seen. Well, that was a great move actually. Into Brook, comes back on with Minga and Law VS. That's battle for 6th place. Minga does have that 10-second penalty, which will be served at the pit stop, if not after the race. As we come through Chapel, exit crucial here. As we said before, Law VS 41 seconds up on his personal best. Lap wide goes Mr. V off through the DRS polystyrene block.
Law VS is around. No, what a move he was pulling. Is he going to try and rejoin? Is there an incident? I don't think so, but Law VS he was looking for a cracking move to try and get back a Canadian Flash Racing, or Minga, apologies, after Minga spun into him, but that's a bit unfortunate. Now Peter Brook's looking for the move. Peter Brook isn't going to hold back. We've seen the move he pulled on Will. Is he going to try and send it up the inside into turn 3? Will is out. What happened to Will? What happened to Will? Safety car is out.
Mr. V, 10-second penalty, severe collision with FP1 Will. So something happened.
We're going to have to go into our pit lane reporter to try and get us some more info.
And Love Yes got a penalty for driving speeding under safety car, so not the first one. As we're going to cut to James, he's got FP1 Will with him.
I have indeed. I've managed to grab hold of Will. Will, disappointing. Right in the mix there, having a few little battles. Lovely little side-by-side with Peter Brook there. And then suddenly it all went wrong.
Yeah, it was going so well. I want to apologise to Dan as well. I didn't mean to take him out at the beginning. But yeah, my chat enjoyed that at least. So I don't know what happened. I don't even know who hit me.
You got to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know who hit me. I'm guessing it was Mr. V, but I lost the rear coming out the final corner and unfortunately wrong place, wrong time. But hey ho, that happens, and I probably deserved it anyway.
Yeah. We just saw the replay there from your stream. Actually, you got a bit loose, and there was Mr. V who collected you, unfortunately. But you killed Dan as well.
Yeah, he spun. He was, in fact, he was perpendicular to the circuit, so there wasn't a whole lot I could do. But yeah, that's probably still a skill issue on my front. So hey, it'll be fun watching the rest of this though, and you guys have smashed it in setting all this up. So thank you.
No, appreciate it. No, thanks very much for being here as well. You've just muted him, James. You've cut him off. Fair play.
You've cut him off.
I thought he was going.
No more Boeing jokes. But yeah, wow. There's another casualty, a big casualty. We've lost Dan. F1 Unchained, also a bit of a silent retirement. Law VS has left the session. Okay, Time is now our leader after everything's kind of gone out, but Simple's gone back ahead of him. I assume there's a bit of swapping going on during safety cars. We've lost Will, we have lost F1 Unchained, and we have lost Dan as well. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a chaotic F1 race so far, Casper.
I think probably wow is the best way to put it, because we've had great moves, we've had all sorts of stuff, and you know, for 8 laps of racing overall, I'm not complaining at all. Lap 9 of 26, so we're about a third of the way in now.
Yeah, so thereabouts. We've Dime as our leader up here. Simple's right behind him with a 10-second penalty though, and Law VS, who just left the session. Hopefully he'll rejoin with us. He's just in AI mode at the moment, but he's got to drive through the serve as well. Someone asking why Mr. V got a penalty. It could just be the F1 game. It is strict rules at the moment.
Often is.
So
from personal experience, because I do quite a lot of F1 commentary, the game can be quite weird like that a little bit. We haven't got any stewards, so the penalties aren't, I think, going to be taken away. So it's just what the game gives you is what the game gives you at this point. So
exactly.
Not really much that we can do, but again, we're expecting EA to make a game that works, with all due respect. So I think our expectations of that are a little bit too high.
Yeah, maybe a slight bit too high. Mr. V then, his penalty seems to have been served at the moment. And he's going to try and catch up back to the pack after he got a bit of damage. He got a bit of wing damage as Dime goes into the pits now. He's on the soft tyres. What is he going to go on? What is he going to change him onto? He's going to drop down to the back with Mr. V anyways. We'll have to see. Simple still on the hards that he started on. Dime now changing from the soft, maybe to the mediums. It might be a bit of a risk.
I was going to say, mediums could be gone from here. 16 laps on mediums on a 50% race isn't out of the realms of possibility.
I think we might have Law VS back as well. He still has a drive-through serve though. GD Charles on the 6-lap old hards as well.
Mediums for Dime, yeah. So he could run mediums to the end, but if we get another safety car, strap on another set of mediums with like 10 to go, you'll be Bob's your uncle sorted.
And he's not on his own either. Canadian Flash Racing, Peter Brook, Mr. V, Dime himself, and Minga all switch to the mediums under the safety car, and Daryl as well. Daryl, he's kind of disappeared for a few laps, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Oh, and we have someone backwards.
Bit of a spin for Formula Duck.
One of our contenders, oh no.
So he's going to drop right back. He's down to 10th. That is unfortunate. That's a very big loss of position for something like that. Yeah, we just had Foxy say Grosjean moment.
Yeah,
in the background, which, yeah, that checks out.
That was a bit of concertina effect down there as well. I don't know what's going on. Lads, we still have a race to do. We can't even do the safety car. What's going on?
Come on, lads. Not that come, surely.
So, Simple's going to try and lead us away. We have Law VS back, I believe. We'll try and find that out for you guys, but he still hasn't made pit stop. So what's going to be his plan from here? He's on old mediums, but he's up behind Simples, who's on the old hards. Charles pitted in our first safety car, which put him onto the hard 6 laps ago, but everybody behind, except Taron, is on brand new tyres. How is this going to shape out? I assume Daryl's going to absolutely send it from the first lap.
Oh, absolutely. I don't see anything else happening as we've got safety car coming in this lap. He is going to want to reclaim that lead, because if he's able to get back into the lead, he can just absolutely run away with it. By the way, please do send in your donations, subscriptions, likes, and everything that comes with it. Much appreciated. As always, we're getting back to green flag.
Exactly, yes. Safety car is in this lap. He's gone into the pit lane. Simples is going to control it. He's going to do the same thing as what Daryl did before. Take a late exit. He gets a bit wiggly, and there he goes. He's gone. He's already dropped Law VS. Law VS going to try and stick with him, but Charles is going to try and stick with him in tow, and Daryl is rubbing his hands, looking to make moves on this first lap of racing as we go through now. Sparks YT right behind Daryl, hoping to follow him through as well. One of our contenders in the qualifying session as well, but Simples has absolutely gapped them. There's a whole gaggle of cars. They're going nearly 3 wide into turn 3. Charles has taken P2. He now drops down to P3. Sparks spins around. Daryl is already up to 2nd place and hunting down Simples.
Simples has got 2 seconds of a gap. We're pretty much 2 by 2, almost 3 wide. Coming into Brooklands, we're looking on with Canadian Flash, who's got himself up to 5th place. Mr. V making positions. Dime making positions off of the back. Law VS trying to make a move defending through Peter Brook.
Three
Mr.
wide.
V through
Nearly
wide.
3 wide on the way down to Cops. We go side by side in Cops. Is he going to make it 3 wide? No, he thinks better of it, but around the outside goes Peter Brook. What a move around the outside of Cops. And there's 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. 8 cars under a blanket nearly. As we go through side by side everywhere through Maggots and Beckett's. No sign of collision so far. How did they make it through? Mr. V has made a storming race. He's nearly lost the car. And he's just about kept it as Law VS is going to start losing more positions down this straight if he can't hold it around the outside. Up the inside there goes Minga. Peter Brook is just ahead of them. Sparks YT will follow through. Law VS has lost 2 positions. Make that 3 now. Nearly 4, 5.
Spin.
Mr. V is backwards again. No.
And Law VS
VS is
involved.
Law VS.
Annoyingimus just gifted
after
0
taking out-
memberships.
Oh God, no! Law VS have to
Annoyingimus
get more
gifted
damage.
Lofi Duda membership.
Oh my God, that's just gone from bad to worse for Mr. V. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for the gifted sub as we go back to racing anyway. Sparks YT looking to make a couple more moves. We see Dime trying to keep Formula Duck behind. Formula Duck spun behind. The safety car gets bashed wide a small bit, trying to go through. But Law VS, we have the man himself, James. What happened?
Yeah, I've grabbed hold of Law. Law, it was looking so good behind the safety car restart, up in the top 3, and then it all came crashing down. Now into the pits. What are you thinking for the second half of this race?
Well, quite frankly, basically, it's just like there's not really much I can do. I got a communicating with the online servers thing, and so basically I lost all control and I couldn't see where I was going.
Beautiful. That's what we love to hear. Just a complete meltdown inside the car. You're back in the race, though. You're still there. Different strategy, maybe. We know there's going to be another safety car. You're definitely not out of the race. Don't worry.
Yeah, basically, it's just a case of, like, I've just got to try and get my head down and just make the most of the fact that, you know, everyone's now done the pit stops. Anything can happen, as you say. And I do have a set of softs ready to go in case I need them.
Ooh. Love that. Cheeky set of softs to run right at the end of the race. Keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen.
He's ready.
Keeping our eyes peeled on that. That could be interesting. Keeping our eyes peeled in the battle as Minga Gaiman looks for a move on Sparks YT. Very close as they got side by side into Cops with Sparks sending it on him. I don't know if Minga will be able to respond, but Softs, like, going by the rate of attrition this race, as Daryl has taken the lead from Simpulse, kind of expected, given the age of the tyres. But, ooh, if we get another safety car, Law VS could be back in this fight at the moment. And given the rate of attrition, it's most likely going to happen as well. Minga Gaiman then is stuck behind Sparks, and they're kind of in a single train at the moment. You can see Taron just ahead, and they're going to go side by side. Sparks and Peter Brook. Peter Brook defends beautifully into Brooklands. Sparks just has to bide his time and wait a few moments as well.
Yeah, that was a little bit too far. Pardon me, a little bit too far for a dive. Coming into there.
Annoyingimus just gifted 0 memberships.
Gifted 0 memberships, right.
Annoyingimus gifted mango _ I7
Thank you very much, Annoyingimus. Annoyingimus? How do you pronounce that? No, we're not going to try that there.
I think it's meant to be like an anonymous but annoying, so it's like annoyingmus or something like that.
Do you know what? Close enough. Oh, it's a bit of lag there for Charles, I believe, but we have a whole battle going on up here. Here goes Canadian Flash looking for a move in Taron. Can't make it work. Peter Brook, and then you see Dime storms around the outside of 2 of them on the way down to Stowe. Dime, can he hold it around the outside? He's got the inside for this. Yay, and they nearly touch. But he's going to hold it up the inside. Hold it on the apex. Is he going to push him out wide? Kind of. He doesn't really get it. Formula Duck is going to take his position. See you later. Goodbye. Charles lacking a good bit there, which is a bit unfortunate. But wow, where did Dime come out of?
Oh my goodness, yeah, the man that makes tracks looks to have mastered that bit of one. Goodness me. Any move into village? No. Close, but a little bit too far away. That was great from Dime, by the way. Sort of out of nowhere. Didn't really expect it at all.
Exactly, and then we have more racing. Canadian Flash looking to go for a move. Sparks gets past him. Canadian Flash can't make it work. Peter Brook just sticking his nose in there. But Sparks would love to have that P3 podium position right here. Canadian Flash is trying to hunt him down and take away that opportunity. Peter Brook and Minga Gaiman still very close. Is there going to be side by side into Cops, I wonder? Yes, there is. Is Minga going to make it work up the inside? No, he thinks better of it. That's a lot better. Time gets another penalty, which has been unfortunate after what we saw from him. But he's making good ground. making good ground at the moment. We still have these two absolutely glued, now nose to tail. Minga might have an opportunity. He's maybe overcooked it through Maggots and Beckett's, but now Peter Brook is catching onto the back of Canadian Flash. Does Canadian Flash also have the DRS? Minga has the DRS. Is he going to try and send it full ERS? 3 of them have DRS. Now, there's not going to be any moves into here just yet, but maybe into the chicane. We might have to wait for the hanger straight as Minga goes up the inside of Peter Brook. Can Peter Brook hold on around the outside? Kind of at the moment. Not really. Minga gets shoved out wide. Minga gets shoved out wide, and he's going to have to do it all over again, unless he can sweep around the outside of turn 1 fully arrest. Peter Brook lets him have that. We're not going to try and see any massive airplane crashes into turn 1. But wow, these two are starting to go really at it.
That was great. Kept the drive-through club and just had the slingshot down the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight into Abbey. That was a great move from the Italian. Through entry we go once again. Lap 15 of 26, 12 to go here. We're on with Peter Brook. Can he retaliate on the Italian? No, not quite this time.
This time, no, and he kind of missed the apex as well. Maybe he was using a bit of it. His tires just that bit too much. But Peter Brook's showing a bit of pace now. He could be a shoe-in for the podium. Still, all the cars under a blanket. Canadian Flash looking to hunt down Sparks. Still, it seemed to have settled down a bit. Daryl F1 still ahead of Simpulse at the moment. I think Simpulse is hoping for a safety car on those hard tyres. And so was Law VS, who's currently 41 seconds down. Bit unfortunate. Bit unfortunate at the moment, but hopefully we'll get a safety car to neutralise things for his side as well. Sparks YT making sure he keeps with Taron. Canadian Flash drop back a small bit through Maggots and Beckett's, but Peter Brook is wasting no time at the moment. He's on the back of Minga again. These two are going at it. They keep going at it left and right. There's battles everywhere as Minga catches back up to Canadian Flash. Has he got an issue? He's dropped back a bit.
Yeah, he has dropped back a bit. I don't imagine it's an issue. It might be to do with, like you were saying, it might be to do with tires. He might have overused them just a little bit. On the Law VS thing, he did have to serve a drive-through and then probably come into the pit lane again. So I think he had to come in twice. So that's why he's all the way, almost 45 seconds down on Mr. V and the rest of the pack. As through the loop and onto entry down the Wellington straight we go once again. Minga closing to Canadian Flash. Peter Brook a little bit further behind down the inside. Goes Minga on Canadian Flash even. And he does make that move possibly a smidge deep through Luffield. Can Canadian Flash get the switch back? Oh, it's on. Here we go.
A bit of contact going side by side. Coming up. Oh, and a bit of lag back there for Canadian Flash, but they're going side by side. Into Cops. Who's braver? Can he hold around the outside? No, Canadian's going to hold him and shut the door on that one. Minga has to run a bit wider, but Peter Brook is rubbing his hands all the time. Canadian Flash seems to be ghosting a bit, but there's still nose to tail, and somehow Minga gets ahead of Canadian Flash. Must have been due to the lag, but Canadian Flash now has the DRS. He's going to come back, or does he? He does have the DRS. Peter Brook waiting to see these two go side by side, losing time every single time they start battling. But Canadian Flash isn't going to send it at the moment, nor is Peter Brook. But Peter Brook is liking the way this is looking in front of him. 10-second penalty for Simpulse, who makes his pit stop after speeding in the pit lane. No.
And that is on top of his previous 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well, which he is going to serve right now.
I believe we have a battle for second place as well. Taron's starting to close up on P2 with Sparks. We'll see if that amounts to anything at the moment, but we still have Canadian Flash and Peter Brook still going at it. Peter Brook just biding his time, wait for the DRS, but Minga goes a bit wide there, and here's our battle for P2 at the moment. Taron looking for P2. We told you he'd be shooting for this race. He's looking very good. He's maybe a bit too far back for a dive though. Sparks has that covered.
Yeah, good a bit too far away. 10 to go now. As we're on with Peter Brook now coming into Brooklands. What's happened to Sparks? Yellows through this section. Sparks has spun!
Sparks has ended it. Sparks has spun. Sparks has binned his chance at P2. And now the fight for the podium is between Minga and Canadian Flash and Peter Brook.
Oh my word, who would have thought that? Just a couple of minutes ago, these guys were fighting for 5th and 6th. Now they're fighting for 3rd, 4th, and even 5th now, with Peter Brook involved as well. But Canadian Flash is sort of dropping back a little bit. I think he'll still have DRS this time, but next time I'm not so sure.
It seems like Peter Brook really wants to get past as Dime makes a bit of a swapper around there. Sparks managed to get back up to 7th. But as you said there, they were fighting over 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now it's over 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So it's on for a podium now.
It's all on for a podium. Also, careful for Minga, because Minga doesn't have that 3-second time penalty for track limits. That can't be served on track. That is going to be tacked on to his time after the race. So he can't do anything with that. He's just got to try and stretch a 3-second gap to the guys behind him. If he doesn't, well, then he's going to drop positions.
Lap 18, still 8 laps to go. We still have a lot of racing to do, but Peter Brook. Is Peter Brook going to make the move up the inside, I wonder? He might do. He might give it a quick go, but we're going to have to see now in a second. We still have the blanket podium place battle, but Taron still drifted a bit from Daryl F1, unfortunately, at the moment. He's a bit further away. So we're going to have to see how it works out now when it comes into the final laps of the race. Is anybody going to go hard? Is anybody going to make another pit stop? Is anybody going to make a move? Peter Brook has gotten past Canadian Flash Racing, and Peter Brook receives a penalty as well for track limits. That's a bit unfortunate now, but Canadian Flash dropped back quite a bit from Minga at the moment as well. But Peter Brook wants that 4th place. He has the DRS. He's going to close up. He's going to open it up. Is he going to deploy the battery? Canadian Flash is helpless going down towards Stowe. Peter Brook looks to the outside. He's going to hold the line, and he's going to take that move around the outside. Beautifully done. Textbook move. Sparks as well, moving up past Formula Duck, who's been unfortunate for Formula Duck. He spun under the safety car and dropped down to 10th. But Sparks is looking to make his recovery, and anything can happen now come the end.
Sparks has got a lot of pace. Keep an eye out for him, because he's already gapped Formula Duck 0.4 of a second already through a couple of corners. So I imagine that gap is going to increase and increase and increase over the next couple of corners, couple of laps. He could get himself back involved for a fight for 3rd if he can keep things going. And I think that has Law just been lapped?
Law?
He might have been.
It looks
yeah,
like
he has.
Law has been lapped. Yes, not going well for Law VS at the moment. But Daryl, wow, we've barely talked about him. He's just drifting off in the distance.
He's
annoying him as just
away with
gifted
it.
0 memberships.
That's absolutely fantastic. I mean, Canadian Flash is hardly letting Peter Brook go, and Peter Brook's trying to chase down the podium. Maybe Canadian Flash just decided to hold off his battery. We're going into the final 7 laps, so it might be good to sacrifice a bit of track position so you can get the DRS in the final laps and hold them off. But we'll have to see what his plan is there. Behind them, Formula Duck still sticking to Sparks, but Sparks is catching Canadian Flash and Peter Brook hand over fist at the moment. As we go on to the straight here, DRS open for Canadian Flash. Peter Brook just ahead, saving battery. He's not using any of it at the moment, but Canadian Flash can't really make an impression. He seems to be dropping back a small bit just due to lag, but at the moment he'll have to sit behind Peter Brook.
Yeah, he was a little bit too far away. I think it was 4.5 tenths coming onto the straight, and that's a gap you could make at the Camel, maybe at Baku, but not down the
annoying him as just gifted 0 memberships.
But Sparks and Formula Duck actually have closed up to the back of this.
Joshua
so I'm not saying this lap, but next lap, those pair could get involved in this. Although they have closed up by another 4 tenths, so maybe I called it a little bit wrong there. They could get involved already, actually, as they come onto the Wellington.
It's now a 4-way battle for P4. Minga seems to have checked out away from Peter Brook, probably distracted by the battle. Here goes Canadian Flash with DRS. He's going to make an impression. Not this time. He might try the switch pack. Coming into Brooklands, but there's been almost contact. He's sending up the inside. He's hit Peter Brook. He's gone sideways a bit, and this opens the door for Sparks YT and Formula Duck to try and go at it. What is going on here? This battle has spawned out of nowhere, and now we have 4 cars battling for P4. What is going on as they have a look into Cops? Think the better. They're going to hold off. Canadian Flash dropping back again due to the lag, but Peter Brook is trying to get away a bit. He's got a half-second gap. These 3 cars separated by about 0.3 of a second as we go on to the straight here. Now, Peter Brook may be safe, but you can see behind Canadian Flash under threat as Sparks goes through. Very convincingly, it seems like Canadian Flash hasn't used any battery or DRS, but Sparks is making his climb back up to Peter Brook. He's right behind him now. A Formula Duck kind of left in the weeds there. Canadian Flash has lost another position. He nearly lost a second one there as well, as Taron gets another 3-second penalty for time penalty warnings, or sorry, track cutting warnings. But there we go. The order has changed quite a bit in the space of 2 corners. Can Sparks get past Peter Brook and claim back a podium position?
Well, for his sake, he's probably going to hope that he can, but he has got the penalty on his head. CF Racing and Formula Duck goes side by side through the village and the loop. Canadian Flash defends it quite well, but now, problem here, coming down the Wellington onto Brooklands. He's side by side now, 2 abreast, coming into turn 6. And he does make that move, does the Duck, quacking away and trying to get after the top 5. So he is in 6th place, made a move, and is trying to recover from the Romain Grosjean moment that he had a couple of laps ago.
And in the space of 3 or 4 laps, he's dropped from what was a very nice podium position. He seems to have completely dropped out of it now. Minga definitely checked out, but now Sparks is on the hunt. He has Peter Brook in his sights. He just needs to keep it clean through Maggots and Beckett's with Formula
Alan
Duck.
Paley
now
just gifted
seems to
0
regain a bit of pace. He's looking for the move as well. Peter Brook is a sitting duck at
Alan
the moment. He's
Paley
going to try and
gifted
defend
the
the inside,
legendary
kind of
gamer
helpless at the
membership.
moment. And there goes Sparks through. Oh, his Formula
Alan
Duck had
Paley
to get out of
gifted
his
Justin's
DRS close as
blocks
well.
membership.
Maybe a bit of a late defense there. Annoying them is very
Alan
generous
Paley
today as well. You
gifted
can join him as
12
well
membership.
with the join button just next to the subscribe button down below if you want to be a channel
Alan
member.
Paley
And
gifted
there goes
legendary
Sparks.
Lebo a
Can he
membership.
catch up to Minga? He's got 4 laps left.
Alan Paley
Let's see
gifted
what
Richard
happens.
Giant a
We're on the
membership.
final couple of laps here. Formula Duck into Abbey, does he? He's got the inside. Oh, he's holding it, through farm. Careful, the lap traffic of Lorviette in the way. And that is great play by Peter Brook, using that lap traffic as like a bit of a blockade to try and slow Formula Duck and keep himself ahead. But how long is that going to last? Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Down the Wellington straight we go once again. Formula Duck outside into Brooklands. Peter Brook still holding that inside line, but that is going to be the outside for Luffield, and that is nowhere you want to be. But Randy goes off their contact as well.
Duck gets it all sideways on the exit, and Peter Brook goes straight into the back from him. I don't think there's any damage, but that has definitely hurt their chances of staying in the battle with Sparks and Minga. As speaking of, Sparks has taken a second out of Minga, and we haven't even completed a lap yet. That is absolutely mental at the moment. Peter Brook still sticking close to Formula Duck, but that half spin is definitely hampered their chances of catching up and keeping up with Sparks. But Sparks at the moment absolutely hammering it down. 1.3 seconds he has gained in the last lap. Peter Brook is not going to make an impression. Canadian Flash has dropped back a bit. Dime still chilling there in 8th place, and there's a bit of a gap back to Charles. But Mr. V could also make an impression on Charles, but we'll keep an eye on the battle for the podium places. Coming through the final corner, Sparks YT, 0.8 of a second. He's closed a second and a half. Simples going for a move on Mr. V. Up the inside of those soft tires. He is so much more rubber. Mr. V has nothing in answer to him.
Just saying as well, while you were talking, he closed up about 0.7 of a second, which is an insane rate of closing. I'll be honest, Mr. V going a little bit off track through Valers. We're on board now with the man with the electric power. Does he make a striking move into turn 5? No, not quite, but he is closing. He is right there. And again, were things to finish right now, he would have that podium anyway because of that 3-second penalty on Minga. Through Woodcut, down towards Cops. Opportunity here. We've seen a couple moves into there, but he does look a little bit too far away this time. More memberships coming in. Thank you very much to Annoyingmus.
Oh, we got it right that time with the pronunciation.
7 a membership.
Well, I did say how to pronounce it.
Very true. That is very true. Sparks YT though there's no worries about pronouncing his name. We've said it so many times now, and this is why he's gone for the podium. After spinning out of the podium places but a few laps ago, he's back up into the podium positions, dropped all the way down to 7th, 8th position. He's managed to get back up to the podium. What a drive back to P3. Wow.
Oh, mate, brilliant stuff. I don't quite think he's going to be able to close 5 seconds to get second place on penalties, but we'll see what happens. Not out of the realms of possibility. Here comes Mr. V. No, that's Simples actually on Charles. Round the outside of Stowe. Didn't actually need to brake for that one. Both go slightly deep into turn 15. And Simples back into 9th place, but again, at the moment, looks to lose it on penalties anyway.
Peter Brook definitely closing up a bit to Formula Duck. Maybe there's a little bit of a late charge from him. Hopefully he can get a position at the moment, but out front, Daryl on the PlayStation, as you can see with the icon, the only console player in this lobby at the moment, has kind of just walked away with it. What do you mean,
As an Xbox man, I am saying
Right, well, we're going to have a division in the chat there. So, 2 laps to go. 18-second lead for the PlayStation player. Sorry, Casper. Taron trailing behind in second place. Sparks moving himself up to third. Minga trying to keep with Sparks at the moment. But all eyes are kind of on this battle at the moment between Formula Duck and Peter Brook. A nice little rhyme there. But hopefully Peter Brook can make a bit of impression. He'd love a P5. He would be absolutely over the moon with a P5 after what he said in the chat earlier. But hopefully, maybe not this lap, but we're coming up to 2 laps to go. We'll have to see how this works out. Everything pretty calm at the end of the race, which isn't usually what you expect, would you?
Not necessarily, but there's still a couple of gaps which could very easily close up. I mean, we've got this battle. What if Mingo closes in, for instance? Charles, that whole area, sort of 9th, 10th, 11th, they could very easily close up. It's only 3 seconds gap between each of the positions. So there's a lot of stuff that can happen as we're on a lap and a half to go, really. But credit to Daryl, he's just ran away with it. I mean, we've barely spoken about him, but that's because we've barely had to. He's on 19 seconds of a gap after a safety car restart on lap 10, which is just an insane pace.
I mean, he's kind of walked away. We saw it in qualifying. He got pole by nearly half a second. He wasn't really anywhere kind of near the start of the race after making pit stops and all the rest, but he shot up to the lead in about 2 laps after that safety car restart. He hasn't looked back since either.
He hasn't needed to because he hasn't had anybody behind him for the best part of 10 laps, let's be honest. That's right. Formula Duck and Peter Brook, again, a bit of a rhyme, sounds fun. The gap's pulled away a little bit as Daryl is going to be starting his final lap now. Sparks in 3rd place, Taron in between. That's what your podium's looking like as it stands. Final lap now.
Yeah, Mia trying to maybe keep with Sparks if there's anything that happens, and Sparks has already spun, so it could happen again. But again, we have to mention Daryl. He's kind of taken it. He's run away with the Taron as well, made a very clean. He's just had a clean kind of drive as well. Yeah, Sparks, what a drive we had from him the last few laps to get back into that podium position. What a move from him. Minga Gaiman coming across to complete his final lap, and Formula Ducks dropped a bit back from him, and Peter Brook has dropped a bit back away. So it might be a bit of an anticlimactic finish, but nonetheless, it's been an incredible race.
Oh, it's been an absolute cracker. Formula Duck could get to 4th place, actually, if he can stay within 3 seconds of Minga. That would be a great result for him, given all the stuff that has happened. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that could change. A couple of positions towards the bottom could. Simples. I don't know. Could. We'll see what happens as... Where is Daryl? He's in the final sector now. Down the high straight. Yeah, he's been... Listen, he's absolutely ran away with it, right? Pole by 4/10 of a second. Ran away on that after that first safety car. And now he's coming up to Vale and Club with a 20-second gap.
He might be looking to go for fastest lap. He might be looking to bring it home. But Daryl, after an absolutely dominant weekend, taking pole, taking the fastest lap, taking the race win, comes across to win the first Creator Slop series. What a drive from him. Someone even calling him for stopping in the chat. But, wow, what a drive. There's nothing really you can fault with him there. Taron then will come across in 2nd place in a few moments' time, and Sparks will join him on the podium. Should he keep it straight out of the final corner? Taron comes home in 2nd place, 23 seconds behind Daryl. Sparks, after that incredible comeback drive from P7, comes back to finish on the podium. Minga finishes 4th, but is relegated to 5th as Formula Duck gets promoted from 5th place with the penalty. Peter Brook, what a brilliant display of racecraft from himself as well. What a race from him. He gave us a great bit of spectacle of racing. Canadian Flash as well comes across 7th after featuring in a good bit of racing too. Dime finishing 8th, a nice quiet race for him at the moment. Simples, after starting on that hard tyre, was leading for a bit, has to come home and settle for 9th place at the moment. Charles at the moment will come across to take P10, the final point, and Mr. V, the soldier himself on the controller, comes across to finish in 11th and round out our grid. What a race. Law VS, unfortunately, a lap down after having issues, but it was always fun to take part. Wow, Casper,
Yeah.
How do we sum that up? It was just chaos, and then it was quiet, and then chaos again. So many things going
I
on.
don't know how you quantify that because it was an absolute cracker of a race. All sorts of stuff happening. Moves left, right, center. I don't know how you try to quantify that in a couple of words. You'd probably just need to watch the whole race again to get a good sense of it because holy mother of God, was that a cracker. And I know that you're happy because the Irishman won the race.
Very happy indeed. We might have, he's only about 2 hours away from me, so I might go up and might have a few drinks with him. But that's all for after. They spray the champagne in the podium, the virtual podium. That is, wow, that was interesting. I think we have to get James in on this one. James, how was that for you?
Absolutely sensational. Like, it had a little bit of everything. It was chaos at the start. There was battles throughout. I really enjoyed like that battle for third place that slowly developed. It felt like after the safety car, everyone had kind of put themselves where they were supposed to be. And then suddenly, just a complete change, and everyone was everywhere. For a first race, I don't think it could have gone much better.
No, and even so, unfortunately, we didn't get Josh Revel to show. He's probably asleep, to be fair. But apart from that, the level of talent, the level of, or even the creators that we have as well, and including yourself, James, it's been incredible to have this level of basically. I've kind of lost my words after that, to be honest. I've kind of used them all in the racing. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think we need to start with our post-race interviews so we can kind of go through. Remember, of course, with the donations as well, they're all text-to-speech. Anonymous has... Annoying him, I can't even pronounce it. He's been very generous today. But unfortunately, we have to deal with Dan for a few minutes.
I was going to say, I've got to grab him in. I would say I'm grabbing you in, Dan, because... You know, it's your event. You're putting it on, but also you were bottom of the grid after all of that. How was your one lap of racing?
Wow, all I can say is qualifying. I was like, damn, you know what? P6, not bad. Then that race start, I was up to 4th. I was like, come on. And then all I'm saying is I was the first to finish. Hell yeah.
That is true. Yeah, that is credit. In order to finish first you have to finish. So
well, it's unfortunate he did not finish, which is unfortunate. True. But yeah, we had Will. He had a few words. He apologized and all the rest. But are you going to get it back next time if there is a next time?
Yeah. First of all, everything that went wrong just proves why this next event should be on Assetto Corsa.
I am not opposed. I am not opposed.
I agree.
No, it was a lot of fun, and like I love watching the stream. Honestly, I was still really invested. I will get my revenge. I will come back stronger and better, and give it a go next time. But it was great to watch. You guys did a great job.
Oh, appreciate it. You gave us a great bit of racing to. No, you didn't. But it was great to watch you for the first half a lap and give us an incident in the safety car. Kind of bunch things together. But any words on Daryl? Even Daryl's after walking away, or even Sparks' recovery as well.
Yeah, congratulations to Daryl, Sparks. I have no words. I'm just thinking that it was good. It was good. No, it was really good to watch. And I'll be back obviously at the end to give some thoughts for the outro. So I'll leave you to it. But thank you, yeah. And I'm sorry I died on lap 1, everyone. My bad.
It's all right. We didn't expect anything less. We said it in the race briefing that you had to kill Dan. So
yeah,
we're just
our base expectations were low. Let's put it that way.
It would have been really bad if he'd have won his own event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to take him out early, make sure that storyline doesn't get played out.
I guess we have to try and drag in F1 Unchained. Unfortunately, he seemed to retire quite early as well. So I think we have to bring him in and get his opinion. F1 Unchained.
Oh, well,
what happened?
Well, I mean, the game, EA, decided to drop me in spectator mode for driving. So whatever you guys were viewing, that's how I had to drive. And
oh right,
yeah, it wasn't working out. Clearly, I could not see anything, and yeah, at some point the car just went in the wall. It wasn't even me driving.
Oh God! So it wasn't really a great race all around.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. This should be on Assetto Corsa or any other game because
I'm going to start counting votes.
Yeah, this is.
Oh no, you have 100%.
You guys did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but the game is in just. I actually crashed out 4 times while spectating. So yeah, this is a fantastic setup for the game.
It really is a great endorsement for EA this weekend, isn't it? We've just had continual problems followed by literal advertisements for different racing games.
Yeah. Speaking of advertising, we have to advertise F1 on chain. I've watched a few bits of your content. To be honest, I haven't really been 100% in the F1 YouTuber side, but please shout yourself out. Is there anything we can do for you, sir?
I mean, no, nothing really. You guys put on a great event. I'm glad to be a part of it. I definitely got to be a part of the next couple of races coming up because it was a lot of fun, but I didn't actually get to experience the race. So I would like to be in the race.
Much like Dan himself, a few other people had a few issues, but no, you're a great sport for coming. I appreciate you sticking around as well, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, mate.
Who do we have next on our list of victims? I think it might be Will himself.
It might be. Is he still about? I believe he is. Yes, he is. Here he is. Hello, Will.
How's it going?
Not
that
too
was a great
bad.
race from you.
I don't know which race you were watching, but sure. All right.
Well, it didn't last long.
No, and you did us a favour by taking Dan out.
Yeah, very true.
If you can see it that way, great, good. I still feel bad. My stream have been having a go at me for taking out the main character, but hey ho, it's been good fun.
No, we won't give you a bad time. We're actually kind of happy to see it because it means that we have more ammunition after the stream to try and throw them. But how was it overall? Will you come back for a second round?
Oh, 100%. This was great fun. I've not streamed I think in about 3 years, but it's great coming back. And yeah, we'll only I'll last a bit longer than 9 laps next time. But yeah, this was great fun.
It was great to have you as well. Of course, FP1 Will, all the links for everybody's in the description. But personally, I do watch you. I love the comedy review. I agree with Boeing being terrible, so definitely check him out. But Casper, James, any questions for the man himself?
I have one question. How are you feeling about IndyCar this coming season with all the ads that Fox are dropping?
I cannot wait. I think the way Fox are bigging it up, it's looking like it could be, could be great from a broadcast point of view if Fox can pull their finger out their arse and not do what they did with NASCAR. But
they've put Will Buxton on the comms box.
They have. I mean, I don't mind Will Buxton, to be honest. Maybe that's a controversial decision, but I think if they've got a good team. The IndyCar itself is set up for a really good season. We've got Prema coming in. We have no idea where they're going to mix into things. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think with Prema coming in, we're going to get a bit more of a European audience tuning in. So I think it's good fun for everyone. And let's see what it brings. We're not too far away now.
How are the
cannot wait to see David Malukas win every single race in the season.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Or Stingray.
Or
get Stingray a win.
Actually, Stingray responded to me on Instagram before after I said happy birthday to him, so he's my favourite.
He's a good egg. He's a good egg. Yeah.
Absolutely. Much like yourself, we appreciate you coming. Hopefully we'll see you next time. But thanks so much again. And look, congratulations on making it to lap 9.
Well done.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Will. Have a good one.
Credit to him. He did
well there, guys. We've managed to not
anger someone.
Well, not only promote a different racing game, but also now a different racing series within the first few interviews that we got.
Sponsorship for this. I think we should be sponsored for the next one.
Well, I'm putting forward the content that he does. So it's sort of a plug on him. I'm trying to pivot it so that I look good. But anyway.
There's no way we can do that after seeing you in the bucket hat.
No, you can't. No, yeah, absolutely, no. Right. Hello, Law. How are you?
Have you come down from your ladder of rage yet?
Himself.
Well, now the thing is, though, is that if this were in-game, then basically what just happened is that somehow I had an ethereal experience around lap 9 when my mind left the session, and in my mind I was cruising up to second place, and then suddenly I checked what the chat was doing, and then it was just like, Spark, P2, wait, I'm P2. Oh no, it's a dream, isn't it?
Oh, you woke
Thanks, EA. That's great. Yeah, it's great.
Before that, though, you were properly in the mix. You had a couple of side-by-sides through the first couple of corners. You were really in and amongst it. I remember you side-by-side with Canadian Flash. You were there with Dime at one point. For the parts of the race that you were at least in,
Yeah,
did
that
it
when
go?
my mind was in it, yes, it was good, and this is like the first league race I've done in like a very long time, certainly in F1 24, and I've been practicing and yeah for a while, and just coming into this, I felt like, oh okay, I've got something. It's just I couldn't quite hook the right lap in qualifying,
Yeah.
and then the the game just decided I mapped my clutch to a particular button, and then it was like, no, it wasn't. It's like, no, you didn't put it that way. But I did though, EA. I did. I saw myself doing it like 20 minutes ago to make sure I knew every exact button which I needed. So no, there was that issue. But yeah, I had that drive-through penalty. I was going to serve it when I was talking to you. I thought I was in the middle of the game and just going to be scything my way through. And I thought, oh, okay, everyone else is on mediums. I'm on hards, and they're all going off. All right. But then obviously that wasn't the case.
And then reality sank in.
Reality sank in, yes, and I found myself a distant 12th. I know, but it was good fun practicing, and yeah, it was good. The parts I was actually, my body and mind were one.
It was a shame though, because when you went onto the hards, if there would have been another safety car, you'd have been in a pretty good position. It was just after lap sort of 10, 11, everybody decided, oh no, actually we shouldn't have any more safety cars. Let's try and get through the final few laps of the race.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it would have been good, but obviously, you can't have too many safety cars. I mean, 2 is quite a lot, and I think I would have just hung it out on the hards, because after the first safety car, I was like, no, I'm going to stick out. I'm going to stick to my guns, and everyone's going on hards, and I'm like, yeah, I'm missing something here. I'm missing a trick. So, no, get on the hards as soon as I can. And then the next safety car, and I did that. And I thought, well, okay, I've got enough traction. And as the weight comes down, I feel like I'll have some rubber by the end of it. But yeah, doesn't really matter because I wasn't even there.
Well, did you have fun at least?
I did, yes. Yeah, it was. No, there were moments where it was just like I was coming out of a ding dong. I mean, coming out the last corner, having Peter right on my jacksie. It was just a bit like, oh yeah, okay. Says the guy who went on Inters.
Yeah, we had
that was a certified 2024 moment Ferrari.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. AlphaTauri 28 or even Malaysia 2009. There you go, Ferrari. Stick them on the wet, hope for rain.
Yeah, or just going like, this is a certified Leclerc Classic.
Oh dear Lord, la. It's been a pleasure having you, like everyone else as well. Please check out Law VS, and you have another channel, don't you?
Oh yeah, it was the OG channel. It's talks about Dragon Ball. Done it for like 20 years or so. Yeah, little side thing, but other than that, Formula One's my bag these days. So there you go.
Absolutely. Look, it's been a pleasure, guys. Any more questions for Law here?
Not that I can think of, other than well done. We hope to have you next time.
Well, I hope so too. Thanks very much, and I appreciate the ladder. I feel like a part of me is home. I feel complete.
You feel a bit taller.
Have to. Iconic at this point.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Thanks so much, Law. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
What a man.
What a man. What a man.
What a man. I think we have to come to the man who's probably calculating the ELO at this rate.
Yeah,
Mr. V have some tough calculations to do for Mr. V. I mean, no wheel, but all of the appeal. Like, it was a very interesting race from yourself, mate. Like, you got in and amongst it, considering you were not happy about your prospects going into the Grand Prix.
I was hating life. I was in a bad place.
So you're telling us you didn't have an excellent time, but if you had a wheel, you would have had a better time?
Mate, it was easy P1 with the wheel. Easy P1.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I saw what was on offer, but no. You know what? It was fine. Is it fun to drive a controller? No. But did I spin and fully embarrass myself? No.
Oh. No half spins, no nothing.
You're the ones who are watching. You tell me.
Well, no, just making sure.
I do remember just to put a little bit. I do remember on lap 7 some polystyrene not being in the best condition after you went past it.
It's called the escape road. It's there.
That is true.
We were told this by the stewards.
It is there for a reason. It is there for a reason.
To us.
Is it? I don't know.
Stewards. We don't have stewards. We can't afford that. Don't put us on the spot like that, Mr. V. But
Oh,
did you have fun at least? Did you have fun? Right, because you were in a few battles there as well, doing really well.
It was interesting. It was good. It was interesting.
Would you come back and join us again? Preferably
Yes.
preferably on a wheel.
Happy to come back, and hopefully the wheel will actually turn up in the post next time.
No, I heard the story. You were going up to collect it, and he told you no.
Yeah, so basically, I was trying to get a title out of this. I won a YouTuber race with the cheapest wheel possible. Found one for £15 on eBay. It fit all the marks. It was dusty. It had buttons that made no sense. I was on my way to collect it on Wednesday. Guy cancels. Put it in the post. Promised it was 24 hours. When he said 24 hours, he meant 10 days. So that's arriving end of next week. So if as long as you can wait 7 days, I'll be back on the wheel. I'll get my title. It's gonna be great.
We might have to switch. We're thinking of switching games as well, maybe to Seto Course. It might work well with the wheel, but no, I think he did very well for a controller. I think we can all agree with that. With the only controller player in the field, you did very well.
Did cracking job, mate.
Thank you.
We're very proud of you. But any kind of plugs we can give you? Of course, you have your YouTube channel, Mr. V's Garage. Please check out the man himself. He's brilliant at what he does. Anything else from yourself?
That's it. If you want to watch on Twitch, I'm normally live playing F1 Manager. But yeah, go check out the garage if you like the green screen nonsense. It's they are videos. They are videos.
They certainly are.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Hopefully we can see an ELO calculation of this race.
Oh.
Let me see what I can do. I'll crack out.
You're a good sport. Hopefully we'll have you next time on a wheel. But we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
That was the most subtle not happening to a calculation of the ELO.
That was very carefully calculated.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
That is true as well. Yeah.
Maybe once we've done a few, the Slop series, a few races down the line.
Maybe so we can get like a
Unfortunately for Dan,
baseline.
he's 0 ELO at the moment. But look, we'll go from there. He's got 0 ELO, but a man who might have some ELO, Charles, our Australian member, the only man of the Upside Down community. How was that for you?
Good, yeah, it was great. It's very late for me, but it was definitely worth the stay up. It was a crazy race, and I really enjoyed the opportunity. Thank you guys so much.
Where you gave us a few good battles anyways, a bit of lag here and there, but be expected from Australia, but you had a bit of fun, few battles, maybe a few moments here and there. Did you find it fun? Will you come back?
Yeah, I mean, I got up to third just by keeping to myself, but then I had this really weird thing at the safety car. Everyone was going the 2 guys ahead of me were going slowly, so I dove into the pits, got a 10-second time penalty for not giving the position back, then a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so it was all a bit of chaos, but I think towards the end I managed to get my head down and I went from last, not being able to set a lap in qualifying, to 10th, so I'll take it.
It wasn't too bad in the end.
Yeah, had all the issues, but we fought through and I had some good laps towards the end with Law vs Will FP1 before they took each other out and Formula Duck, so that was really fun to race against all these creators.
Yeah, there was a really nice side-by-side. I think it was you and Dime and Formula Duck, like all side by side through like the entire final sector. So halfway through the race.
I was smiling ear to ear about that, but then the lag sent me about 50 meters back. But they ended up battling out ahead of me, so I was able to catch up to them. And I nearly did like a 2022 Lewis Hamilton through the final chicane when they both sent each other off, but sort of had a squeeze and a near crash, but it was all good and fun.
Cracking battle nonetheless, mate. Honestly, great watch.
Yeah, for sure. Are you allowed to plug anything here, may I ask?
Yeah, go for it.
Away. I believe you have your own podcast, don't you?
Yeah, I do. TSC Pod. I did a collaboration with Dan where we ranked the rookies, and I talk to drivers like former Formula 3 and Formula 2 drivers, and we sit down every week to have a nice chat about racing. And I'm doing karting at the moment, so trying to build up a good reputation and build my name. So it was awesome to have this event and real good fun.
No, and a pleasure for you joining us. Please do check out check out the podcast. And I honestly, I'm not a big podcast man, but I have started listening to them, and I'm definitely going to give it a go. Trackside Tales podcast for anybody looking to watch, definitely very good. But no, you're a great competitor. We appreciate you being here. Hopefully, see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely will. Hopefully, might run a bit smoother next time. I don't know if it was just my Australian lag, but it was good. It's about 5 a.m. at the moment, so I'm gonna have to get to bed pretty soon.
If everybody donates enough, we'll give you a passport for Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'm looking to move over to the UK because I've got family over there anyway when I finish school, so nearly done. It's been real fun, guys. Thank you so much.
No worries at all. Thanks so much, Charles.
See you, mate.
Oh man, I will give this podcast a listen. Actually,
Yeah.
it seems to be very good. It's actually high because it's on Spotify as well. The Trackside Tales podcast. Give it a listen. He has interviewed a number of interesting people like Alex Peroni as well on his podcast. So definitely do check it out. Moving to the sim racing tech reviewer, Simples. My dear friend Dan, how are you, sir?
I am doing splendid, and you?
Fantastic. Formerly DC Racing, now Simples. How was your race?
I do have to say, quite hectic, to be honest.
Up and down like a yo-yo.
From the Dan no skill crash at the start, giving me a 10-second time penalty, to the, well, let's just say awful lag, to just general randomness in the Formula 1 code. It was quite hectic. Plus, there was a lot of different accidents, a lot of safety cars, last to first to last again. All over the place, but so much fun.
Moving all over the place.
Well, yeah.
Yes, you were literally going like an elevator, up, down, up, down.
Honestly, I can't even recall half the things that happened in the race. One moment I'm first, and then the next moment I'm setting probably the fastest lap, catching up to a whole bunch of people. I think in the end I had 23 seconds worth of penalties thanks to F1's crazy code. But yeah, speeding in the pits, and then speeding in the pits was like 2 miles an hour. It's my fault. But yeah, honestly, so much fun. I cannot wait for the next one. Hopefully on a slightly more stable platform.
Well, we were thinking to do Assetto Corsa.
Assetto Corsa is going to be fun.
Assetto Corsa
is talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Have you got any plugs, anything that you'd like to bring up as such?
I mean, apart from my YouTube channel, Simpulse, nothing really. Just if you're looking for any high quality sim racing reviews, looking to buy anything, feel free to check my channel out.
I only joke. We used to race for your team as well. Simple's brilliant, and you're the reason why I bought a couple things sim racing related. So
there you go.
Definitely do check him out in the description, please. Dear Lord, check the man out for the love of God. He's coming up because he had DC racing before. Unfortunately, got banned, but he's not gone just yet.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. But hopefully we see you next time, Simples. Anyways.
All right. Take care, mate.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, the man himself has arrived. Dime.
Going on, guys? Driver of the day. Come on.
Driver. I don't. We didn't get that. Who's going to tell?
You know what? I'll take it. That was actually super fun. I had a lot of fun. I actually did way better than I thought. I mean, obviously there were a little bit of hiccups, here and there. Like, I think from the race you saw, I know zero strategy whatsoever, so I was just throwing the dice on the tires and basically giving it my all. But it was super fun. Had a few exchanges with Formula Duck, and that was interesting. There were a few corners where he was better than me and I was better than him on some other corners, but ultimately he came up at the top. And I really enjoyed every single second of that. My goal was just to stay on the track, and that is exactly what I did.
Yeah, it actually went quite well for you. Quite enough race, kind of P8. You managed to get a double move at one point on the likes of Canadian Flash,
which was great.
It was brilliant to watch.
Yeah. That was quite interesting. I was saving up my energy like half of the race so I can pull something like that off. But it was interesting. Again, it was my first time playing this game. I have about 5 hours in this game since yesterday. I tried grinding on it, and that was. I mean, I'm gonna say it again. That was just a lot of fun. I think maybe next time the best thing we can do is that I can build a track so we can all race on it. I think
That's
probably
now
yeah,
then
that would be
that
very
is an
good.
idea because we've been talking about going to a set of Corsa for the next one.
Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect because that's the only way I can get some advantage here. So yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna have an advantage
specifically for yourself.
Yeah, but that was great. That was great. I mean, the qualifying was a little bit, I had a few hiccups here and there. Like, I didn't even know where the track starts and ends, the lap. So I was just driving aimlessly. But yeah, I came up, I think, P12, and then I went all the way up to P8. So I'm super glad with how everything turned out.
Yeah, you seem to stay in a trouble solid race. Hopefully, the next one, if you do design a track or upload a video, maybe we can maybe see you in the top step. Ugh,
Yeah,
I'm losing the
yeah,
words.
you bet, you bet. That's gonna be so fun.
Put your teeth back and try again.
But yeah, definitely. Again, links for Dime down in the description. He makes some amazing tracks and has some interesting takes, but he's a brilliant man nonetheless and a great competitor. So definitely do check yourself out. Is there anything we can shout out for you, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, take care, mate.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Dime.
Of course, all the links to all the creators, by the way, you can find in the description because we love everybody.
We have the most polite member now. The most polite member because he's Canadian.
Have
Here we
you
go.
met him before? He's not the most polite man. He's still a Ferrari fan.
That is unfortunate. Look,
that is
even though he
true.
has some shortcomings, he still is a member of here. How are you, Canadian?
I'm doing great. I'm. God, I lagged that whole race. That was so fun.
We saw it. You glitched through a few cars. Well, you made a couple of moves. You made an interesting battle for what was the podium at the time. Did you
Yeah, it
have
was
fun
awesome.
at least?
Yeah, no, it was hilarious. I was like, we were all in a call. Like I think it was me and Peter. We were battling for the podium at one point, and then all of a sudden he teleports in front of me like 10 meters. I go backwards. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I love the F1 game.
Easiest move of his life.
No, literally, I'm like, I can't even do anything. But it was fun.
You were kind of the first driver that was in that proper mix that could have gone to anybody. Like it was kind of Sparks, Duck, you, Peter Brook, all of you interchanging places. Like I remember on, I think it was lap 6 or 7, you made an absolutely beautiful move around the outside of Maggots and Beckett's. But how was it being in and amongst that chaos of the middle of the pack?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I was probably ahead of my screen, to be honest. I have no idea. But no, it was fun being amongst the pack. We got all the battles. There's people spinning out in front of us. But I mean, I didn't take any penalties, surprisingly. So I'll take that.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is the screen. We were constantly on you guys because it was a battle. It was for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Then it was 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we were just thinking, what is going to happen now? We were waiting for Daryl to stick it in the wall just to add some excitement.
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, Daryl was like half a kilometer ahead of us, so it's something we can do there. But yeah, I raced with Peter the whole time, and Ming, I think that's how you say his name. We were in that call the whole race. We were like, oh look, we finished right beside in front of each other. So that was cool. I don't know. We did some weird strategy. We went like soft, hard, medium strategy. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. Peter put on inters at one point.
Yeah.
So. We saw that. Yeah.
We asked him about that, and he basically said, yeah, I accidentally clicked the button.
Yeah.
And he wanted to put hards on, then he changed it to intermediates.
Yeah, I know. I was with him. It was so funny. He's like, why do I have the inters on? I'm like, I don't know.
Interesting strategy. It could have worked if it rained.
Yeah, yeah. Like basically a Ferrari strategy, if you ask me.
Exactly, yeah. And as the Ferrari fan yourself,
you know.
I almost did it too.
I think the main thing we need to do for yourself as well, with yourself, Canadian Flash, shout out your YouTube channel. Obviously, you're linked in the description, and you do what I love. What you do is the what if scenarios. That's the best thing that we can see there. Like the what if this happened in the F1 Manager game. So if any of that interests anybody, please check out Canadian Flash. Give him a like and subscribe.
Yeah, I got one going out tomorrow.
Oh, happy days! Right, notifications are on.
Yeah, let's go. Cool.
Perfect. But hopefully we'll see you for the next one, Canadian. And in the meantime, thank you very much for participating. And here's your best friend in to take your spot as well. Peter, my friend, how did the intros treat you?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I've only had the game for about a week, and I haven't done pit stops before. And it has that thing where you have to turn into the pit box in time. And I turned the analog stick because I'm using a controller. And then it was like, oh, we'll switch the tires at the last minute from hards to inters.
Oh, you were on
yeah.
a controller as well.
Yeah, I was using a controller. I think I may have finished
Got a
first out of all the
controller?
controller people. Yeah. I grew up with a PS1, so
should
I
we get
still.
Mr. V back in to let him know? Because he was complaining constantly about being on a controller.
Honestly, this game, the physics work really well for me on a controller, I find. I mean, I grew up with a PS1, so I still use the X squared D-pad combo. I don't use analog sticks or anything, but it works. It drives really nicely, actually, on controller.
It seemed like we thought you were on wheel. Like the battles that you had, and a couple of people said it. The racecraft that you have was incredible. And look, I commend you for it. I haven't. Please, can everybody be like Peter in my iRacing lobbies before I lose my mind? Because the racecraft was absolutely superb. Maybe a couple banging here and there, but that's what happens. Fantastic from you. Like, is there? I don't know. I don't think there's anything to fault him, is there, guys?
I don't really think there is, mate. It was just a
Absolutely
cracking race from your side, other than the inter-tire thing.
Oh yeah, other than that, yeah.
Other than that.
I mean, you're up to, considering you were on the Inters sort of lap 10, lap 11, I think it was, you were up into P4 by lap 18 and properly in the mix still for a possible podium place. And then you were also on the D-pad as well. So you can't fault yourself, mate.
No, I mean, I was really surprised. I genuinely thought I was going to be slowest because everyone else would be on steering wheels. And so my game plan was I don't crash, everyone else crashes, and I win. And that's how I do it. And that partially happened. But yeah, I was really surprised that I was making overtakes. I mean, I did that one on the outside of Cops, wasn't it? And I was like, okay, this is going considerably better than I was expecting. So, I really, really enjoyed that. I mean, there was so much that happened. I'm struggling to remember a lot of what was involved in it. But yeah, it was a huge amount of fun.
Yeah, the double overtake you just mentioned there, like Laws and Mr. V, who was on a controller himself, and you were just around the outside of both of them.
Yeah, it just like I mean, I maybe took this a bit too seriously because I bought the game a week ago, and then I was practicing every evening. Because I thought, well, if I'm going to be slowest, I want to try and mitigate that as much as I can and try and keep up a little bit. And everyone's saying, oh, I'm doing quali laps of like a 26, and I'm like, I can barely scrape a 29, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, quali again, 3 clean laps. No track limits. I mean, I got the penalty at the end of the race, which is a bit annoying, but it didn't affect my position. So yeah, I'm very pleased with how I did.
Well, we can have another iceberg for the F1 Creator Slop League strategies. I'm sure your one will be very deep below. But is there anything we could do for you, Peter? I mean, look, obviously you have the brilliant iceberg videos, and you know the history as well. For someone like myself who studies the history, please subscribe to the man himself, Peter Brook. He's in the description. Is there anything you'd like to shout out, Peter, at all?
Other than that, subscribe to the channel. I also have a podcast called the DRS Train Podcast, which I run with a few other creators, and we talk about F1 history as well as race reviews. So subscribe to that as well if you can.
It's something that I would definitely love to watch. Brilliant stuff about the F1 history. But Peter, I'd give you driver of the day. I know Dine came here and claimed it. Yeah. I'd give you driver of the day just for the racing. But fair play, and thanks for coming. Hopefully we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll do.
See you next time, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, cracking stuff, mate. He did really well, especially again considering that he was on controller. I honestly thought that he was on wheel or something like that. The moves that he was pulling were, quite frankly,
controller
wheel-worthy.
And never played the game before a week ago.
And that as well. Like, if it was me going into it, right, I would be behind Law. Going in like that. Like my pace is shockingly slow. But anyway, right, enough about me. We've got another person coming in. We've got Minga, our Italian. Buongiorno. How was that?
Please never
that was so funny, actually. So funny. It was so funny to stay in Discord to talk with the people also in the race. Yeah, just a lot of fun.
No, it was brilliant to watch as well, Minga. You had a good few battles go for the podium at one point.
Yeah,
but kind of fell away as Sparks came back. But no, brilliant race from yourself. You were battling away with Peter. You were battling away with Duck. Battling away with Canadian Flash. How was it? How was it from your side?
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, with the start that the lights were bugged and I just gained a few positions. Then Done of Kill and Spark crashed, so another positions, and it was up to P3, I think. Then I decided to pit with the 4 safety car, so I was virtually P1. Then 10 seconds time penalty causing a collision, 10 seconds time penalty spinning in pit lane, as I went from virtually first to last, and then I needed to recover. I had Nice
Yeah, you got
pace,
a
I
little
think,
bit
and-
unlucky with the penalties, but some
Yeah.
incredible overtakes. As you mentioned before, like we were just talking to Peter about his overtakes. Your slingshot around the outside of Peter, lap 15, 16, sort of
Yeah, I
middle of the
think so.
race. And then you also did Canadian Flash the next lap. Like it looked like you were on a proper surge midway through the Grand Prix.
Yeah. I don't know. I found pace in some way. I expected to be last in this race, and to be to be fifth, to be P5 is actually really, really good.
Solid effort from your side. Obviously, you do a lot of F1 editing kind of contact as well. Again, links in the description for everyone. Minga does some great F1. Minga, it is Minga, isn't it? Am I pronouncing it right?
Minga. It's correct. Like all of the peoples are pronouncing that Minja, but
Like
it's
that
Minga. So yeah.
famous Fortnite streamer, Minja. No,
Yes.
but it's links in the description for Minga. He's been absolutely fantastic throughout, giving us great bit of entertainment. Is there anything
Mango
that you'd like to shout out from yourself?
_I7 super chatted 46
just,
cents. I
I
didn't
do
have
edit, I
much, but
do
this was
also gaming
absolute cinema.
on Twitch on my gaming channel. So I do mostly everything. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Actually,
No worries, Minga.
No
Look,
worries,
hopefully we'll
mate.
welcome you back the next time. But thanks so much for joining us this time.
Thank you
to all of you, boys.
Look, the multilingual over there.
Oof. Foxy,
Ooh la
just,
la, all that.
for those of you that may not have been able to hear it, Foxy's just in the background said, I think it was Buena Serata or something like that. I am.
We don't know because we're not smart enough to know Italian. But
Neither.
maybe our next guest, Duck. Duck, do you know any Italian?
Nope. I mean,
Okay.
all I know is Mamma Mia, pizza. That's all.
You know what? Close enough. Not even pasta, no?
At least he's honest.
Yeah.
You know what? It's all we can ask for. Duck, you gave us a bit of entertainment. You had a couple of moments. You were up like P2 and P3 for a good bit of the start of the race. Take us through it.
I was doing good. I was keeping up with Daryl, I think. Keeping my pace, holding ground, and then I thought under the safety car, I was like, look, maybe I'm too good. Maybe I need to prove something to myself. So, maybe I spun on purpose. Maybe I did it. Maybe I'm projecting. Who knows?
Maybe. We don't know. We can't get in the inside of your mind. We don't know.
Exactly. I don't even know why I spun either.
It kept it entertaining though, because with that spin, you put yourself in the mix with that middle of the pack, but then you just slowly made your way back through it. Looked like you were on for a podium place at one point, considering you had that spin.
I was trying, but then like the last
65
3 or
super
so
chatted
laps, my tires just
$5.17.
absolutely fell off a cliff. So
Sparkseed
at that
15
point, I just wanted to hold
real
position.
also,
and
there you go
I didn't
down.
even know Minge had a penalty. So P4, I'm very happy with that, considering everything that happened.
Yeah, rightly so.
Yeah.
Brilliant bit of driving. Brilliant. And obviously, as we can hear, you are an F1 comedian, allegedly. But you provide us with a bit of entertainment on track and off track. Is there anything we can shout out for you? Obviously, your YouTube channel, which I have started watching, which I do enjoy. Is there anything we can shout out for you at the moment?
Yes. Shout out my channel, obviously, and that this next season of F1, the content's going to take a major step up. Lots of new clips, animations, things like that, and obviously I'm gonna do more live streams, more everything. I just started this YouTube stuff like 8 months ago, so
Yeah,
I'm
fantastic, right?
improving as we go on.
Absolutely. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully you come back for the next one and in time.
Yep. If it's on a set of Corsa,
absolutely.
pre-warning to
Yeah.
you guys, I will do horrible.
No. Well,
who knows?
hopefully a bit of practice. A bit of practice.
Yep, bit of practice. All right.
Thank you so much,
All right.
Duck.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Just very quickly before we move on, we want to thank Mango i7 for the 40 through the donation. We really do appreciate that, and thank you very much. He says, didn't have much, but this was absolute cinema. No need to worry at all. Any donation is much appreciated. Yanni65 as well with the €5. Sparks cooked for real. Everybody's looking for Sparks at the moment. Oh, well, who's that we have in our chat?
I wonder, who do we have?
Oh, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Sparks.
Yeah, that is. I've seen my chat throughout the entire race. I want to say a good thank you to them because, yeah, it's kind of rare to see like an event like this, and everyone's going mad about it in my server. So big thank you to my fans.
You were
No,
all
thanks,
over the
absolutely
chat.
Mate.
All over every single chat I popped into of every single stream. Someone was shouting your name. You really did catch the eye.
Whether it be angry
Yeah.
or happy, we don't know.
Weren't paying that
Yeah,
much
the race was like all over the place. I mean, first of all, we don't talk about the V carb on lap 1.
No, we do.
The less we talk about,
We
no,
do.
we don't. No, we don't.
No, we
No,
do.
we
We
don't.
do.
No,
So
we
what happened
do.
on lap 1 there,
We do.
Sparks?
What happened?
So my
Let's see.
tires were like 60 degrees, right? And I tried to turn for like the right hander, and I just understeered into him. And then I looked to my left and see him get collected. I was like, oh my god, what have I done?
You've made yourself public
So,
enemy number 1 with that one. I
I
can't
put my
believe
hands
it.
up. Might have messed up, but you know, it is what it is.
Racing is
And,
racing.
Yeah, the rest of the race was okay. I had my brother engineer me as well. You know, he's a league racer, so he knows what he's doing. I can
You
imagine
had
he
an
was.
engineer.
Yeah, I had an engineer for this.
Wow.
It's
He was
serious
actually trying.
competition. Serious competition.
I
That's
wanna
why I made
make
that comeback.
I want to make it plain. This man was actually trying and only finished 3rd. I'm not having it.
Whoa!
His
That
pace was
recovery
insane,
cinema.
though.
It was insane pace, but he had an engineer to help him through it.
Very true.
No, but
You-
it was very good pace, though.
You'd think the engineer would have told him, right, try going faster through this section.
Maybe don't hit someone.
Yes,
we're
that
only
would
joking.
help.
Yeah, that would help. I don't know how I didn't get damaged for that as well. Got really
Yeah,
lucky.
it's actually it was unfortunately the other car came off a bit worse. But you're used to the mobile games, so you adapted pretty well to the F1 game, despite it being different.
Yeah, I've played a lot of iRacing, and I used to league race in F1
Johnny65
so I had
super
to hop on
chatted
F1
$2 and 7
after a whole
cents.
year of being
Sparks
washed.
MA boy.
And then
Can't buy zooming
I
past
was really
Patreon
hoping
now.
you'd maybe do it on
Skull.
AC or maybe Alamobile, Monoposto, you know, good F1 games.
I wonder if he might have an advantage there with his content being based around
yeah.
Monoposto, but we
Exactly.
don't speak about that.
No, why not?
But no, Sparks, it's you've lit up the chat as well. We want to thank as well Yanni again for another €2. He's going, Sparks, my boy, can't buy zooming past Patreon now, unfortunately. But Sparks, you've been an absolute pleasure. Great to watch you on the track as well. Some interesting pace. Channel is SparksYT15. He's linked down underneath. And he does a lot of mobile gaming, which I've started to get into a bit recently, to be honest.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, check out Monoposto my career. I edit for hours to make it absolute cinema. So there you go.
Absolute cinema.
Absolutely. Look, you've been a pleasure to have. Hopefully we can have you next time as well. Would you join us again?
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely would. Definitely.
All right.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Look, Sparks, fair play to you. And hopefully we'll see you next time.
Thank you, mate.
In a bit.
See ya.
Now, unfortunately, we have Taron.
So second, right? Okay. Second place, Taron. How was that?
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Oh, no, I didn't say anything. Sorry, who said that? It must have been the wind.
Oh, probably,
That's some
yeah.
strong wins because I didn't hear anything.
Second place, though. Second place, as Casper said there. How was the race for you? It was a bit kind of up and down here and there, but second place, pretty good result.
Dude, it was a mess. The game is like so bad.
I hope
I hate this game so much. No, but yeah, qualifying was not how I expected it to be. I expected it to be faster because I practiced yesterday and was faster yesterday. But still, I think I got P5 in qualifying, so that was actually fine. Then the starting lights, what happened there? And also, I saw like half the grid got disqualified before start. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, the starting lights glitched out. It was just a mess, and I don't even know what to say.
But hey, you navigated through that mess, and you're in second. So whatever happened must have really worked in your favor.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got a drive-through for being too fast on the VSC. I wanted to serve that drive-through and just got pitted on hards. I don't know. Then I was dead last, I think, with 13 seconds, but someone crashed and there was a safety car, and that was like the opportunity for me to just catch up again and deliver. Yeah.
It was pretty interesting to watch as well, how you just kind of appeared in second at one point. We're just going, what's going on? But no, a well-driven race for you. Maybe a bit behind Daryl, but you had your own battles. He kind of just went. But
Oh.
it was great to watch you as well. Obviously, we know you from. We're hoping to have a Assetto Corsa next time, which might please you.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Make sure definitely to check out Taron. You did the 2024 season highlight, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So
in
definitely
557 seconds.
definitely something to watch from Taron. Go and check him out. His link's in the description as well. Is there anything we can do for you, Taron? Here, can we give you a foot rub massage?
Yes, please.
Okay, right. That's for you guys to sort after the stream.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry for
All right, have a good one.
Take it easy. Now, we come to our winner. The man, I'll call you the best Irishman just simply because he won the race. But Daryl, domination. How did that go for you?
It went very well, thank you.
Very well done. Very well controlled as well. 20-second gap at the end. Not really much pressure at all. You know, you just kind of chilled out the front.
I was actually thinking to maybe like slow down and help Ming and get a 1-2, but he had a 3-second time penalty, so I didn't want to lose the lead and then just waste the win.
Yeah, true. Well, you had a decent gap. I know Minga got P4 or P5 in the end after the penalty. It was pretty good, solid showing. You guys are teammates.
Yeah, because we are basically the F1 editors in this Creator Slop Racing League, so we both are trying to represent the F1 editors and do well for ourselves. Yeah.
And you do a fantastic job as well. I've only seen a couple of bits, to be completely honest, but it's brilliant. And you know what? With the rise through YouTube as well, you've done a great job. And hopefully this win will do something for you as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. I also heard Mr. B saying him on controller is an excuse, but I was actually on a PS4 controller as well.
You were on controller, so we had 3 controller players.
Yeah.
Oh. So we had. So who else do we have? We had Peter and Daryl. So Mr. V unfortunately had no excuse.
Exactly.
But no, fair play to Daryl. Of course, you do all the editing content, and I know you were saying Minga as well. You guys do the editing content, very highly quality or very high quality. Oh, I'm starting to lose myself, Daryl. I'll be completely honest. You put me to sleep with your domination, but you do a few streams here and there as well. You're rising up. You've had a great growth in the last year or so. Daryl F1, please do check him out. Is there anything we can shout out for you, sir? Anything else apart from your channel?
No, that's all. I'm just very thankful to actually be a part of this event here, and yeah, it was great racing with all these creators out here. I never expected to actually be racing alongside these people before, so yeah, it was a good experience for me.
I have one simple question. How are you going to celebrate this win?
Do you want to come in for a few pints?
I mean, I have dinner right now, so I'm going to celebrate with the Chinese, yeah.
Oh, spice bag.
Nice. Okay.
Daryl, it better be a spice bag, otherwise we're not going to be friends. No, what? No, this is Ireland. We don't do cuisine. Jesus, don't think of us as high standard.
I very vaguely know what a spice bag is.
Very good. Daryl, we will leave you to your Chinese in peace. And look, congratulations. Brilliant race from you.
Right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well done, Daryl. Take care.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have to listen to Dan.
Sorry everyone, I'm back. I'm gonna be keep it real with the chat right here. I'm dying for a piss, so I'm gonna rush through the outro. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Massive thank you to all the creators involved for turning up and racing, providing great entertainment. Obviously, myself, I provided many laps of amazing racing for the whole thing.
In qualifying.
Most importantly, I just want to thank the commentary team, not only Casper and Tong and James, who's obviously been doing all these interviews and being the face of the pit lane, but also our producer, Captain Foxy, who's been manning the cameras. He's been reporting back to us. He's also been sorting out all of the EA issues that this stupid game has. Yeah. All right.
Oh my God.
Absolutely hate it. Terrible game. Last but not least, massive thank you to Johnny for the super chats, Mango for the super chat, annoying Imus for all of the gifted subs, Alan for the gifted subs, Alan for the tip as well. That was very kind, and Blue Boy for the tip too. I really appreciate it. That was very, very kind of you all. to give all that money. Obviously, all of that is going to the commentators and more. They've earned it today. So, yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.
Bye, Dan.
Thanks so much, Dad.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Bye. I've got to end the